motion. We'll see what happens. And I don't know if there was contact here.
Might have cut a tire.
Very close to each other. Castroneves has got a run on the car in front, but
he's got that rear bumper guard that might protect a cut tire, but it certainly looked like a Lotion barely got into him.
Oh, he got a flat. Broke. Yeah, something broke, or he got a flat tire. Just kind of skated up the track and hit the outside wall on the exit. So it was a glancing blow. It wasn't a half spin and hit the wall, but either something in the suspension broke from that contact earlier in the race.
That looked
with James Hinchcliffe. He said something was bent in the car, and they looked around the rear, so maybe something finally let go.
I think it could have been, and it looked like maybe left rear suspension, perhaps. That's a big impact, and they're taking their time getting him out of there. Marty, what do you hear?
Well, you guys remember he had just reported a few laps earlier, and we just said on the air that he had a vibration that he felt like was coming from the right front. His teammate Joseph Newgarden did indeed have a blistered right front that came off of his car, so that's what they're thinking is that tire finally might have let go on Elio Castroneves' car.
And Marty, I was able to take a look at that tire that came off the number 2 of Joseph Newgarden, and yes, indeed, it was heavily blistered on the right front. So that was the reason for his vibration. And as we can see, Castroneves climbing from the car, you could speculate that could have possibly been the issue, as you say, for Castroneves as well.
What a great sign that is to see. He sat for a little while. They wanted to check and make sure all is good. Nobody better than the Homatro safety team. Big hit for Elio Castroneves, but he walks under his own power to the safety vehicle. Pagano up 10 for the start. Pagano restarts in second, right behind his teammate Will Power. Back to green at Texas Motor Speedway with the two Canassis behind and a spin from behind, and that is Ed Carpenter.
Ed Carpenter, what a save. Danny Sullivan style from 1985.
I think he had contact with Vautier. I think Vautier came down. His tires are flat spotted.
Yeah, I got damage.
I think Vautier made a little chop on him, and I think they might have had contact. Let's check this out with his in-car. See Vautier right here in front of him. I think Vautier chopped over on him right there and touched his front wing.
I don't know if that was the case or if Ed dropped his left front off the apron on that edge. We might see it again in slow-mo.
But Hinchcliffe backed out in the drivers' meeting today. The drivers were warned and reminded as they nearly come together.
There it goes.
That's the big one. That's the big one.
Big crash.
Oh boy. Hildebrand, Jones, Hinchcliffe, Lotion, and then many others up front. This and Hunter Ray is about as big as we ever.
All right, here we go. As we see Hinchcliffe come off on the high side here, he comes down on Tony Kanaan here. He's kind of blocking Vautier.
Yeah, but it's his
teammate.
And they
touch right here.
It's his teammate, Lotion, who's giving Hinchcliffe nowhere to go.
Oh, Vautier got contact as well.
Lotion made it 3 wide down the back straightaway, and when Hinchcliffe had to move up, he was pinched. Terrible result for Vautier that was having such a great run. So both Dale Coyne cars, both Schmidt-Peterson cars, both Ed Carpenter cars all go out in that accident.
We watch here. Watch this. So he starts coming down. They touch right here, and he got into that tank slapper. So we see, as we see that the tank slapper is when you just kind of lose the car, and now you're fighting the car back and forth, trying to correct it left and right, fishtailing, and you're out of control. As we watch from a Lotion's rear view camera here.
Auto run.
See the back end of Hinchcliffe's car was snaking back and forth, and you're just out of control. You can never keep up with it, Townsend.
There's 3 lanes here at Texas down the back straightaway. The problem is when Lotion went wide, went 3 wide, he occupied the second lane. He gave these guys nowhere to go. On board with Carpenter. Now watch this, Lotion's up there, and Lotion drops down into the second lane, so Hinchcliffe has no room.
Inside. Oh, we're gonna crash. Slow down.
And that was Hunter Ray that came from behind him after Ed got turned.
I love it when the spotters state the obvious.
When this happens, there's really no time for these guys that are 20, 30 car lengths back. You're in it when you get there. You're going 225 miles an hour. There's no way to even slow down.
And that was exactly like the Rossi crash earlier, which is you're the sandwich. Hinchcliffe's in the middle of two cars, nowhere to go. The real estate disappears in front of him or beside him, and he just ping-ponged.
And I just started talking about the drivers were reminded third car in should be the first one out. And we saw, I think it was Hinchcliffe had just done that a moment before.
Yeah, I'll maintain that Hinchcliffe would have
Yellow, go low, go low, go low, go low.
Tell you what, Ray Hall did some good driving there.
Stay where you are.
He was
Stay where you are. Great job.
Real switched on there. He got it woed down and didn't get in there wide open like a lot of guys.
Look at Vautier with his left hand on his helmet. It was a big impact, but I wonder, is he just thinking, oh my, or what's going on?
Or is he holding the visor down, or?
It was a big, I mean, Vautier had the hardest hit as he just ripped there yet.
Well, and there's track debris everywhere, oil dry from the, you see him wiggling right through that oil dry, and it got away, and he was chasing it up the track rodeo style and sprint car style, and just ran out of real estate in the end.
Well, Ray Hall almost got into him from behind. Gabby Chavez had to avoid him. Our sixth caution of the night, plus the competition caution.
Big second hit too. The car came up off the ground, so two pretty good hits.
So we were scheduled to have that competition caution at lap 224. Now the clock will start over, so depending on when they go back to green and how long the cleanup is, we either may not have it. If we restart later than 2:18, that seems very unlikely.
Well,
we're probably going to have a stop for tires with about 10 to go, as you talked as possible.
If it was 224, that means you have 24 laps of caution, meaning every lap of caution we have now, you subtract from 24, and that's how many laps you're going to have on the restart.
Townsend, he went through that speedy dry, all that oil dry, and as soon as he crossed across that, the rear end came out from under him. If we can get another replay of that, he had a big run and went 3 wide, and as soon as he crossed through all that oil dry, the back end just slid out from underneath of him.
But Paul, I don't think he would have made it regardless. It was so dirty. Nobody had been running 3 wide down there. Let's watch this is late after the impact. There was dust flying off, rooster tail coming off the back of that car just from a green track as well.
Watch Graham Rahal here. See that big pile of speedy dry right there, and as soon as he crossed over that, Townsend, it just went sideways on him.
Fair point. That initiated it, and then there's not much grip to recover.
See right here. Look at all the speedy dry here, right there. Boom. It's sideways as soon as he hit that. So they haven't done a very good job of cleaning that up. I guess they figured nobody's going to go up there, but somebody tried it.
Okay, to clarify on the competition caution, third blue car running in fourth. Sato coming to the bottom side of Scott Dixon, and they turn. Dixon goes around. Sato goes around. Power is in front.
Well, you knew it was going to happen at some point. They were absolutely driving like maniacs.
Scott Dixon is going to be furious.
A 7th place finish, and let's watch again what happens.
Sato drops a wheel in the grass right here and just loses it. It bottoms, he loses the rear, catches Dixon, and they're both around. And poor Connor Daly gets wrapped up in it, and he spins trying to avoid everything.
And I thought Dixon would make it, but that's Max Chilton that augured into the side of his teammate Scott Dixon. There's Connor Daly down low. I'm not sure if Connor had any contact. Sato just didn't know where the track limit was there.
Well, the track limit's the grass.
Well, that's what I'm not sure he realized. I think he was paying such close attention to power, he just didn't have any idea where the verge was.
At this stage of the race, you're so fixated on the nose in front of you. And I mean, I've touched the grass there going through the short chute, and guys do it in cup cars, and you're just so fixated on trying to get the run done and get a run down the inside.